I think whether it's a formal involvement in some outreach ministry or informal, the thing that's important to me is to know people and be known, and to be able to talk, understand, um, be there for people, and just feel the love and care and compassion of Christ as as a church family. Again, whether that's in a formal way or just as we gather, it's very important to me.
Well, and I've been wrestling with, I've been leading Care Connect ever since its inception and wondering whether it would be good to have new blood in there. Is that the right way to say it? A change of scenery just for people to think about things a little differently, maybe. So anyway, I've been thinking about that one.
Well, I may think about starting greeting again since I got a better knee. And my connection is really with the worship service. I really love the worship service. And I love talking and to people. And so maybe I'll start greeting again. I don't know for sure.
I'd like to stay with this prayer ministry a little while yet. This has been a really difficult year, but I still have some dreams about that. I'd really like to see our church build a prayer labyrinth on our grounds. So that's one of my dreams.
One of the questions was about the body of Christ. And again, if we emphasize that more, some people are more hands and some are feet and some are mouths and some are ears. And if we emphasize that more, that we don't all have to try to be all of it. But one of the parts of Christ do we best express? I think that could help maybe take off the guilt of not being in everything.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get to know more people in the church. And it was kind of that way just before the pandemic and we couldn't go anymore, that we were starting to get to know more people. And I'd really like to get more involved with Family Promise because we've done that in the past. And I really feel like that's part of my mission. But sometimes it's still hard to commit to anything right now. So I don't know.
I could sure echo bits and pieces, if not all, of what I've heard each of you speaking into these several questions. I myself have really struggled with kind of withdrawing, becoming quiet. I don't know, a sense of where's my confidence in speaking out? So as far as looking into the future, I would hope, like Dave, to know others, to be known, and find out where I am in being a person who speaks out. As we talk about what should the church be, what is at the core of being the body of Christ, and that is a huge. The body of Christ is huge, and I see one amongst all those things that have already been mentioned. Also, and it's perhaps my focus in theology was really affected by a couple of teachers who really drove this home. The historical situation Jesus stepped into, and yeah, he was caring for the least of these, and he formed a group of disciples. All of it, so much of it pointed toward the political situation of his day, the Jewish passion to rebel against Rome, to use violence because their God is the one true God. And that's something I think the church, it's certainly within the Anabaptist roots, our Anabaptist foundation, but I'm not sure our, church, the Anabaptist tradition engages that. It's very hard to do, make political difference in our small local settings. How do we speak out against that? So maybe, I don't know, maybe I'd be better. I should be working with Mike and Raw Tools more. How do you have a voice in a world of violence and a Christian faith that buys into it wholesale and to a very large degree? We've become our world. And I say we in a very loose way. We just go right along, stay quiet. So that's some of the mix of my confusion and my wondering where we go with all of this.
Good.
Well, and tagging on to Marilyn's words about Jesus and his apostles, Jesus also reached out to the least of these.
Mhm.
And he never hesitated, and he was never ashamed or taken aback by whatever difference they had. And so I think so far I've seen a church of inclusion, and I'd like to see that continue and grow.